Republican leaders in the state assembly are laying out their plans for the upcoming legislative session, which begins in January. Speaker Robin Vos said last week that priorities will include a laptop for every incoming freshman high school student and a back-to-school sales tax holiday. That's an idea Governor Walker also backed last week. 2017 is a budget year, and lawmakers will be grappling with a nearly $1 billion shortfall in the transportation fund. The transportation budget request could come out later this week, and we're talking about all of this today with State Representative John Nygren, who is the co-chair of the Joint Finance Committee. Representative, it's good to have you back.
Good to be with you.
Show. Yeah, let's talk about transportation. Are you going to be able to find any common ground with the governor and with the Senate Republicans who have said, absolutely, we do not want to increase taxes or fees?
Well, I think we'll find common ground because my position is similar. I don't want to increase taxes or fees. We'll look first for reforms, areas we can save dollars for a transportation system. There's a number of them that are out there, but thinking that it'll add up to $1 billion, I think is quite optimistic. We'll also look to an audit that's being done by the Nonpartisan Legislative Audit Bureau. It should come out later this year, early next. We'll look for ideas on, we're not professional road builders. Are there ways we could be doing things differently to be able to save the taxpayers' dollars? But at the end of the day, I think our options are continuing to borrow at high levels, which has been done by both the Doyle administration and the Walker administration, to a point where we're having fewer of our dollars coming in going to actually building roads and more of it going to debt service. So that's one option, delaying projects, which as
Do you think we're going to see that?
It's a potential, but I guess my position on this is these aren't projects we're not building new highways. We're actually rebuilding the highways that were built 50 and 60 years ago. You can put another layer of blacktop on them, but at some point in time, they're going to have to be rebuilt and at a higher cost.
A couple of the other things that Speaker Vos talked about were, well, could we look at advertising rights to some of this? How does that work? Help me understand what he's talking about there.
Well, I think in some states they've looked to, advertising at rest areas. There's even some states that have looked to privatizing their highway system. Mm-hmm. My position is all options should be on the table, whether it be reducing the number of projects that we're putting forward, whether it be looking for savings and reforms, and potentially we should also have a conversation with the citizens of Wisconsin about our revenue going forward.
When you talk about revenue going forward, are you encouraged by what's happened in other states? Other states have appeared to bite the bullet on this and have, in a couple of instances, raised taxes and fees somewhat to fund their road costs.
This is not unique to Wisconsin. I actually live up on the border of Michigan, another state that's actually in Republican control. All the two houses of the legislature and the governor. Iowa, other states throughout the country have actually been faced with this very same issue. How we pay for our infrastructure moving forward. In my position, it's less responsible to continue to borrow for our roads for the future rather than looking to pay for them a true user fee.
And you'd have to have the federal government sign off on tolls, but yes, you want to take a close look at tolls. Why?
Well, first of all, public input. We don't have a lot of polling done on transportation funding, but the only one that we do see that gets over 50% approval is tolling, and it would take a longer time to implement tolling because we would need congressional approval to be able to do that. So that's not an immediate fix.
I want to talk to you about another one of the priorities, and that is a laptop for every high school freshman, or a device similar to a laptop. Where did that idea come from? Well, what's that about?
Well, I'm not 100% sure where that specific idea came from, but we did something we kicked around in the last budget, actually looking at doing that very same thing. My wife's a public school teacher. My son last year was a freshman. Now he's a sophomore.
Could he use a laptop? Huh?
Marinette has implemented a similar program. This is not unique. I believe Howard Swamico, an area I represent, they get iPads. This isn't a new idea, but it would be the state stepping forward and saying, hey, look, from a technology standpoint, we need to provide an education that our kids are going to be able to utilize moving forward to, being on the cutting edge. There are some problems with it, especially when you get into rural areas. The access to the internet, broadband access is limited. So we're also looking at ways to provide hotspots, whether they be on the buses or even whether the students could check out a mobile hotspot to take home with them to be able to get their homework done. It's not as expensive an idea as you might think.
How much does it cost?
My wife told me that systems that the Marion School District are using are only about $250 a piece, so they're not that high of a cost.
So do we have an idea of a grand total if we did that for every freshman, whether they're in a public or a charter or a voucher school?
Well, there's 74,000 is the number I've been given, 74,000 freshmen incoming into our system in Wisconsin. So I think you're talking about the neighborhood of $4 or $5 million.
Something that you definitely think is doable,
Yes.
given the state's financial situation?
Yes.
John Nygren is the co-chair of the Joint Finance Committee. We appreciate your time today. Thanks very much for being with us. Our editorial partner, WisPolitics.com, has coverage of the recent projections on state revenues. You'll find it all on the budget blog at WisPolitics.com. Coming up next, a top congressional race in Wisconsin. Is this open seat now moving in favor of Republicans?